Hey everyone, welcome to another BTM screencast. Today we're going to be going over Chapter 9, Blueprint Reading and Drafting. So at the end of this chapter, you should be able to complete the following. You should be able to understand basic plumbing symbols and abbreviations, interpret basic residential architectural blueprints, create simple sketches of piping systems, and understand different illustrated views of a piping system. Plumbing symbols. So you might be familiar with these from other prints that we've seen. Symbols are used throughout the construction industry to illustrate typical devices, equipment, fixtures, piping systems, and other related items. So instead of writing it out on the blueprint, having this whole big thing go across, we can just put a symbol. Many projects require engineers and architects to create non-typical symbols relating to job conditions, so you might see these occasionally that it's specific to that job and there's not necessary carryover from this one to that one. Common symbol knowledge is essential in reading blueprints regardless of the type of construction, and this point we emphasize in the other marking periods as well. Symbols are fairly typical, but each architect may have varying styles, so keep that in mind. 90-degree offsets. So, a 90-degree offset is one of the most common offset fittings that you'll see. It's a basic symbol with unique variations that is used to illustrate the position of a 90-degree offset that turns up and turns down. So remember, these are going to turn up, they're also going to turn down. A circle indicates a pipe that is either facing up, down, toward you, or away from you. So the circles are all going to look the same, right? But it's the line and where it connects, it's going to let us know where it is. So if a line that represents a pipe is connected to a circle, that symbol indicates the 90 degree is facing toward you or 90 degrees down. And that's what this looks like. So this is our 90-degree elbow, and this is letting us know that the 90-degree elbow is coming up. And here's a picture of that illustration. So here it is. Right? The 90 is pointing up. A 45-degree offset is useful to any plumber in piping situations on a job site. We'll cover this further in lab. The 45-degree offset symbol indicates 3 different piping configurations. So, a 45-degree up symbol has a full circle, a 45-degree down has the line representing the connecting pipe penetrating the circle, and an inline 45-degree offset in a piping system is common to offset over or under a pipe or a building structure, so we'll look more closely at this example. In this illustration, we can see that this is a plan view of a 45-degree offset going up. So here's our circle, here's the line penetrating this piece, and this is what it's going to look like. If it's down, now we can see that this line goes through both of these. So this lets us know that the 45 is now pointing down. T's have 3 connecting pipes and are illustrated primarily to a 90-degree offset. A full circle with no line penetrating through the circle indicates the T is turning up on a plan view. A continuous line through a circle indicates the T is turning down on a plan view. So here we go that this is a plan view of a T facing up. And this is what it looks like. So here's a T, and the T is facing up. A perpendicular T configuration is common on a job site to connect a branch pipe to a main piping system. The symbol used to indicate a T turning down illustrates a perpendicular branch that connects to the bottom of the main pipe. When a perpendicular branch pipe connects to the top or main pipe, the 90-degree down symbol is visible and the line represents the main pipe, but the T up is hidden. So let's look at that. So here we have a plan view 90-degree down connecting with a T up. So here we go. Here's our 90-degree facing down, so it's going like this. And this is our T up, and this is what this illustrates. So this lets us know that the T is up, right? Because the T that stops at the circle, and this one stops at the circle. Then we have our 90 that comes in and it penetrates the circle, letting us know that that 90 is going down. A plan view T down connecting with a 90-degree up. So this is the opposite of this one. So now we can see that this T is pointing down, and because this T is pointing down, that lets us know that the line penetrates through the circle. And because this 90 is facing up, this line only comes up to the circle. P-traps. A plan view symbol for a P-trap is a combination of a 90-degree up and a 90-degree down symbol. So this is what it looks like. So here we have a 90-degree up, and this one is a 90-degree down. And here we can see why. So here we have our 90-degree down and our 90-degree up. So this one would be the pipe going into it and penetrating, and then this one is the pipe coming up to it. Piping. The common residential systems are cold water, hot water return, drain, and vent. The three different water distribution piping systems have dots inserted to break the solid line. A vent has a continuous dotted line, while a drain is a solid line. Any use of a solid line is acceptable for identifying other piping systems, and the insertion of the type of abbreviation for a particular system is similar to inserting dots. So what's this look like? So here we have here on A drain is just a solid line. A vent, which we'll be going over in more detail, is a dashed line. Cold water is a dash with a dot. Hot water ends up being a dash, dot, dot, dash, dot, dot. Hot water return has three dots, so dash, dot, 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 dash, dot, dot, dot. And this one here is a customized symbol, so in this case it's irrigation. So if you're running irrigation out to plants that you have, or your lawn, or trees, or anything like that. Cap, reducer, and plugs. So a clean out plug is illustrated in the same manner as other plugs used for different purposes. A clean out installed on the floor has a cover, and the indication of a circle with the abbreviation CO indicates the intent to a plumber. Some clean out symbols may use abbreviations that indicate the installation location of the clean out, such as WCO for a wall clean out. So here's what some of these symbols look like. The reducer is a line with a triangle. The cap is exactly what that looks like. A plug or a clean out lets you know that it comes up and it stops. A plan view floor end clean out using an abbreviation. So this lets you know that this is a clean out right here, and the abbreviation CO lets you know it's a clean out. Here is a plan view of a midstream clean out using an abbreviation. So here we have the CO. This one is a side view clean out using a Y fitting. So this branches off, and then here we have a clean out. And then down here we have the side view wall clean out illustrated in two different views using an abbreviation. So on this one we have it where it comes down in the circle, and then this one is more of the side, and both of these let us know that it's a wall clean out. Valves and devices. There are numerous symbols for indicating a type of valve within a system. Custom symbols can be used, or an industry standard symbol may be used to identify a valve. Some valve symbols will include the indication of a handle, and the actual symbols are dependent on the particular drafting style of an architect. Symbols and their meanings are listed by an architect for a plumber's view on a blueprint page for a particular job. So here we have different types of valves. So here we have a gate valve, so this can be illustrated with the handle or without the handle. Here we have a check valve, so check valves only allow flow in one direction, so that's the direction of the flow. Here we have a Y strainer. For this one, we have a ball valve. Here we have a hose bib, and this one we're not going to have to worry about. Fixtures. Symbols do not indicate the actual fixture installed, but they do illustrate the design intent. The variation of a sink symbol may indicate the number of bowls or if it's a corner sink. A bathtub symbol will indicate the drain location. A toilet symbol is typical for all jobs. A bidet symbol is similar to a toilet symbol without the indication of a toilet tank. And a shower symbol typically has cross lines indicating the floor is sloped towards the drain. So here we have some fixtures. Here we have a toilet. This is fairly typical. Here we have the difference between a single bowl and a double bowl countertop lavatory or sink. And here we have single bowl and double bowl kitchen sinks. Here we have a corner double bowl kitchen sink, so this would go in the corner. Here we have a bidet. And here we have two different types of showers. So one is a corner shower, and most of them have a drain in the center. These lines indicate where the slope is. So if you remember, we talked about slope when we were doing our level unit. Slope if this was level, slope would go like this. So we want water to flow towards the drain, right? We don't want water to flow away from the drain. If the drain ends up being the high point, then you're going to have water around your shower, and I don't think anyone necessarily wants that. Here we have our bathtub, and we'll go into more detail with this. So there's left-hand drain and right-hand drain bathtubs. Here we have a garden tub or whirlpool tub. Here we have a corner garden tub or whirlpool tub, a laundry sink, a bar sink, and a shower head. What I want you to notice is the ones with the corners. So in this one, the garden tub, and this one down here, the corner shower. The reason that this is cut at an angle is because this is the corner that goes into the wall, right? So you need to walk out somewhere. Equipment and drains. A circle with the WH is typical for a water heater symbol. A garbage disposer may be identified by placing GD within a kitchen sink symbol. A floor drain symbol varies from simple circle to circle placed inside a square and will be identified as FD for floor drain. A dishwasher, washing machine, and dryer utilize a square with their abbreviation to indicate the installation location within a room. So here we have a water heater. It's pretty easy, right? Here we have a floor drain, and again, these can be illustrated using different methods as long as it's labeled and we know. Here we have a dishwasher, and here we have a single bowl kitchen sink with a garbage disposer indicated by GD. Abbreviations are required on blueprints to eliminate clutter within a design. This is why we have symbols, right? Common abbreviations are industry standard, and unique abbreviations often describe a specific system, item, or term. An abbreviation legend is created by an architect and listed on a blueprint page. So this is just a list. It is important to understand that some abbreviations can describe several different items on a job site. So you must be able to clarify design intent, right? Just because you're using an abbreviation here doesn't mean that it's not being used over here. So we want clarification, and that's what the legend will help give us. Architectural blueprints are a master plan of an entire project and are illustrated on a small scale to represent a full-size structure. We covered this briefly. The most common scale is 1/4 inch, representing 1 linear foot, so 1/4 inch to a foot. All blueprint pages are provided with an alphabetical and numerical identification and text description. The location and direction of floor joists are indicated on a foundation plan. The abbreviation OC represents on center, and again, we've covered this in the carpentry portion of the class. So here's an example of some architectural blueprints. Feel free to look this over. Architectural symbols. So, 2 common symbols a plumber must know pertain to locating a larger view of specific construction areas. A circle segmented in half, having the location to view a detailed area, indicates the blueprint and detail number to review the construction information. An arrow on one side of the circle indicates the view direction, and a tail indicates the scope of the view. The top half of the circle has the blueprint page information, and the bottom half has the detail number to make sure that you're on the correct blueprint. So this is what that looks like. The top half circle indicates a section or side view detail number, and the bottom half of the circle indicates blueprint page that the section or side view detail can be reviewed. So for example, this would be detail 1, drawing A4. The arrow here indicates the direction of the view, and our arrow here indicates the scope of the section or side view, and the tail indicates the total scope of the view. So here we have more architectural symbols. Don't get too caught up on these. We're going to continuously go over these throughout the class. Drafting. Clearly illustrating a design requires basic drafting skills. A plan view illustrates piping systems that relate to other areas of construction, such as walls or fixtures. A section or side view is created to illustrate installations such as a fixture rough-in that require elevations of water and drain pipes to be indicated above a floor or distance from a wall or other piping. An isometric view is extremely useful when a piping system has numerous offsets and requires clarification of the design intent. Drafting tools. Drafting tools are specialty items that can typically be purchased at an office supply store. You'll be given these scales, pencils, compasses in class. If the sketches are for distribution to other employees, contractors, or an architect, drafting tools should be used to create sketches that are professional in appearance. Scale ruler. So we've gone over these before. We're going to do more of this in class, so don't get too caught up on all these points. There are different types that we use. It's fine. Like I said, we'll cover this more in class. And this is what they look like. And again, we'll go into more depth with these. Don't get too caught up on the 1/8 inch equals a foot, 1/4 inch equals a foot. Drafting triangles. So a slide square is a tool that is placed onto the drafting table to provide a true horizontal plane. We have these, but it's not required that you use them. A drafting triangle is available with a 45-degree angle, and a dual purpose type has a 30 and a 60-degree angle. So the 45-degree type is used for creating plan and side view illustrations, while the 30 and 60-degree type is used for creating isometric sketches. So this is what they look like. If you would like triangles, let me know. And here we have an example. This one has a 90, this one's a 30, on this side is a 60. Symbol templates are a variety of shapes to create industry standard symbols. We don't have these in lab. Multi-purpose templates with basic shapes such as squares, triangles, and circles are available. Circular templates offer a large variety of circle diameters, and a plumbing template has the common fixtures used in a plumbing system in various shapes to illustrate common plumbing related symbols. And this is kind of what they look like. Again, it'll make drawing plans and everything easier, but not necessary for what we do. And again, here we have more. Here we have more. Drafting paper is available in a variety of options. So for here, this is what you get. So I'll just give you printer paper to draw on, and you can get a scale to go with it. I will not require you to do all of these. These will be separate things, and especially for the material list, I give you a template for that. So here we have someone did a pretty good thing for drafting, and they let us know that it is not to scale. Isometric drafting. So an isometric view of a piping system clarifies hidden piping configuration from a plan and a side view. So not everything that you see in front of you, right? Because when we look at the side view and the plan view, it's only going to be two-dimensional. When we take it, we rotate it 30 degrees, you're going to end up getting a three-dimension drawing of it, and it's going to make a lot more sense, especially when you're doing plumbing and the plumbing goes from floor to floor to floor. At least we're going to be able to take it and turn it and say, okay, well, I know that this goes here, and that goes there, rather than it just being a 2-dimension. A scale is typically not used on an isometric sketch because it is a representation of a plan or a side view sketch. Dimensions can be included in an isometric sketch to indicate fabrication intent or an installation from specific building walls or columns. So this just lets us know that this is the plan view, this is a section view, and you can see between the two of these, you can combine them and make this an isometric view, so then we're aware of where the things are going. And again, here's another example of taking the plan view and the section view and then making a 3D representation of it. Riser diagrams. The isometric illustration of piping on several floors of a building is known as a riser diagram. A riser diagram is not intended to illustrate every fitting or offset, but it is an overview of design intent based on the number of fixtures, valves, equipment, and other major aspects of a system. So these drawings you will be doing, and these are your riser diagrams. So this lets you know, here we have water coming in, there's a gate valve right here, goes into the basement, up to the first floor, up to the second floor, and it comes out, and you can see that it goes from 2-inch, and then it comes out to 1/2 inch here. Here's another example of a riser diagram. This one's a little bit more detailed than the other one, but we can see on this one, in the basement, we also have all these other things. And my question is, what is this? What is P4? What's P3? I have no idea. Wouldn't it be great if the architect gave us a legend to tell us what this is? Oh, here it is. So they let us know P1, P2, P3, all the way down. So everything that we just saw on this drawing over here, so all these are indicated. All of them are listed right here. So the drawing is not congested. You can see that this drawing already has a lot of information. So it makes sense to put in an abbreviation here and then just have a legend over here where we're able to figure out what it means. In summary, common plumbing symbols indicate the intent of a design. Abbreviations are used on a blueprint to eliminate clutter and are usually listed on a legend for reference of the meanings. Most residential blueprints do not illustrate the pipe routes for plumbing systems. An architect typically only illustrates the fixture locations on a residential blueprint. A detailed blueprint created by a contractor is also known as a shop drawing. Drafting skills allow a plumber to effectively communicate design with coworkers and other trades. A plan view is also known as a bird's eye view, right? So that's looking from the top all the way down. A side view illustrates an area of a construction from the side. So if you're looking at a wall straight on, that's a side view. An isometric view is a 3-dimensional view of a piping system. And we covered that in this instance it is a combination of the plan view and the side view. A riser diagram is an isometric view of a large portion of the entire piping system. And that's it. See you next time.